Hey everyone! Happy 2017! Woo! Yeah. 2017. Yeah, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling, not 22, but I'm feeling excited because it's 2017. Introduction, before we get into this video, I've decided that I'm going to start talking about whatever the heck I want to talk about on my channel, which should have been the thing from the beginning, but I kind of find that, like, basically once I upload a video, I get, like, extremely nervous about how people are going to take it. And, oh, why is she talking about veganism when her channel's all about theatre and writing and the arts? And, like, okay, 99.9% of the time I will be talking about the arts, but that 0.1% of the time I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. This is Tea Time Tuesday because I've realised that the best videos are when you're very chill and you kind of haven't really necessarily prepared, but you're here to have a conversation. Let's do it. Veganuary. Vegan. Such a terrible name. How are you even meant to say that? Like January. Veganuary. The month of January where you're trying to be vegan. Lego. I've been vegan for a while, so I just thought, let me just give you some tips and tricks. Veganism is all about helping ourselves and helping other people and helping the community. Now, if you've decided to do vegan, oh, I freaking hate this word, Veganuary or veganary, you know what? Anyway, if you've decided to do that word, you probably already know why being vegan is good for the environment, so I'm not going to bore you with too many details. I will just say that, you know, if you're someone that cares about the environment, if you're someone that even, like, gives a tiny little poop about global warming, veganism is a good thing to try out, seeing as the farming industry contributes to, like, a lot of global warming. It's also just better for your body, it's better for the earth, it's just, it makes sense. I kind of think of it like giving blood. You don't have to do it, but it's kind of nice to do it because it just makes sense. So we're going to go through a whole load of different things about being vegan and how tips and tricks to help you survive the month of that word that I cannot say. Number one, I guess, will be how to avoid foods that aren't vegan. This is kind of simple-ish, mostly. There's like different things about this, but I would say, so how I started off doing it was just by, this can sound really obvious, but just like looking at the back and looking at the ingredients of every single food I buy. And I very quickly learned that instead of having to scan every single ingredient, usually the things in bold are things that vegans can't have. So if you look at like allergens, they'll like always put them in bold, and that's stuff like milk, stuff like eggs. Basically, if your food is vegetarian, like you've picked up, like it says suitable vegetarians, like a vegetarian burger, flip to the back, if there's anything in bold that is like a milk or an egg or a cheese, you can't have it. Sorry guys, sorry. But yeah, so a really helpful way to go to find things is just to see what's in bold and then don't eat that. And there are a few extra things that you would think would be fine but aren't. So what I always do is I do a cheeky Google on my phone. If I'm in the shop, I'll be like, Google, is something vegan? 100% somebody has Googled that before, so you will find the answer very, very quickly. And I'm going to put a link of some sites down below, which they basically list things that are or aren't vegan. But two, still kind of number one of the avoiding things that aren't vegan. If you're living at home, especially if, it's going to sound harsh, but it's true. Like for me, my parents are Ghanaian, right? Okay. Ghanaian people, like, they're loving their foods, they're loving their meat, they're loving like everything. I feel like the foods are a little bit more simple. Like I can walk into the kitchen and I'll see like a plate of jollof rice and I know that's vegan. I can have that, that's fine. Because we just tend to just put the meat on or the eggs on, it's just there. Now y'all British people, I mean I'm still British, but like 100% British people, y'all just put things in everything. Like, okay, if my mom makes a soup, it's a soup. If it hasn't got meat in it, I can eat it. That's fine. I know how she cooks her food. I know the Ghanaian ways. Some of y'all be having soup and it's got milk in it. It's got cheese in it. I just don't understand. Or some of y'all be like, oh, I'm gonna glaze this pastry in egg. Us Ghanaians aren't doing that. We're not anyway. You're just gonna wanna make sure you remind your parents often because they will probably put stuff in it and think it's totally fine. Like my brothers for ages would be like, why can't you have honey on toast? And I'd be like, because honey comes from bees. Bees are animal. I don't eat animal product. You see logic. You see, when people forget as well, they'll like give you ice cream and they're like, what? There's no animal in it. And you're like, oh my gosh. Temptations. I think this is the number one thing that put people off trying to even be vegan, and I feel like you shouldn't be put off at all. You just shouldn't. I think everyone should just try it. Where's the harm? Where's the harm? And I think everyone's kind of like, oh, you're vegan, that's really, really cool. I would be as well. But I just really love cheese. Or like, I would be as well. But I love chicken. And okay, this isn't a reason, but I understand it. Because before I was vegan, you know, my girl loved me some chicken. Okay, I'm just like, I'm not trying to be funny, but I really love chicken. Chicken was hold the jokes. Hold the jokes. I just feel like if I can do it, everyone else can do it. And I feel like temptations are going to be a thing. But I think if you prepare ahead of time, you can overcome them. I think one thing to help you prepare is to try and bulk cook. Maybe like cook a week's worth of meals. It doesn't mean that's all you're going to eat in the week, but it just means that if you're feeling really hungry and you open the fridge, oh, look at that. I have my vegan casserole ready. I have my vegan rice and beans. Like, I'm ready. You know what I mean? Whereas if you haven't bulk cooked before, you open up the fridge and you're like, oh, there's nothing here. Oh, but there's this like really nice yogurt. I'm really hungry. I'm just gonna have it. And then you break your first resolution of the year. No. Everyone feels tempted. I found one thing that really helps me, and this is really, really weird. If you're tempted to have something, most people's reaction to temptation is just to fight it, to really fight the temptation. You're like, oh, I really want this thing. And you're like, no. Who, where, what? Who, where, what? Has anyone seen that video? Oh my god, that's so funny. Anyway, nah, you guys need to see that video. Anyway, but yeah, people try and fight it. Don't do that. Let the feelings come. Let it overwhelm you. Just be like, yeah, you know what? I recognize that I really want bacon. That's the other one that people can't give up. Yeah, I just really want this bacon sandwich right now. And then they're like, don't think about it. No, just be like, yeah, I really want this bacon sandwich. You're right, body. You are craving it. Of course you're craving it. Like, I've had bacon like every week for the past like 20 years of my life. Of course you're craving it. Yeah, bacon sandwich would be really great right now. Really good. And then eventually, like, your senses are just kind of overloaded, and then your brain just kind of gives up wanting it after a while. Because when you try and resist it, your body's gonna fight. But once you just let it, I don't know how to explain it. I think it's a bit like martial arts. Like, if you're gonna be like really rigid and tense and really like try and control every single movement, you're gonna be easier to beat. When you're relaxed and you're ready, you've got that like soft focus. My physical theatre teacher would be so proud right now. When you're like relaxed and ready, like, oh look at that push just went off me, instead of bam and it came round. Anyway, I don't know if that's helpful, but try it if you feel tempted. It might help. Just don't even tell yourself off for like really craving it. Just be like, yeah, I do. I'm gonna feel it. I'm just gonna lie in the fetal position and feel it and dream of bacon sandwiches, and now the feeling's gone. Boom. And like, the more you do it, the easier it'll get during the month. So, for the tips that I have for you, I had more tips, but I can't remember. Oh, yes. Number 3, are you number 3? Friends are your worst enemies. Probably. And this is because our friends are just born to just sort of take the mick out of us. Family as well. So, I mean, you're probably going to tell people like, yeah, I'm doing Veganuary. And they're going to be like, yeah, right, sure, you can do it. Let that be your fuel, okay? Let others' disbelief be that stepping stone to victory, okay? Because no one's going to believe that you can do it first go unless you have like some ridiculously nice friends. My friends were like, you're going to give up after a week. It's been 3 years, honey, 3 years. But like, use that as motivation, because expecting people to believe in you off the bat, that doesn't happen in real life. So don't be all discouraged because people are taking a mick out of you and people are like, this cheese nacho is so good, you sure you don't want some? They'll get over it. This is your life. Why are you trying to like change your goals for their life? Number 4, I'm about to be interrupted. Hello?
Can I do something?
Yeah?
Is it going on YouTube or something?
You want to say hi?
Hi.
Isaac, this tea's so good. Did you see it?
What?
Did you see it?
Ugh. What is that?
Oh.
No, wait, that's from a flower.
Yeah.
You drink it. You're eating petals from a
I
flower.
don't eat it, you just drink it. Would you like some?
No, why?
Would you like some? Alright, you can go now, mate. I'm trying to record my video. Bye. Thanks. Can you close the door? Thank you. Cheers. bet you he's standing outside listening as well.
I am.
Did you hear that? He was just like, I am. Oh, okay, number 4, 5, finding the vegan foods. Step 1, go to your supermarket. Step 2, buy the food. I would suggest that you make the entire thing fun. This is kind of another tip, but as I told you, I didn't really plan this video. I'm just telling you what I do. So when I first went vegan, I just made it fun. So I went down to the fruit and veg market that was at my uni. If you're at university, try and find out if there's a fruit and veg market and go every single week, because that's what I did. I just lived off fruit and veg. It was great. Quite cheap as well. So what you want to do is just find new fruits and vegetables, and you're going to stick to veganism a lot longer if you are actually having fun with it. So get creative. Don't be like, oh yeah, I can only eat potatoes and beans now, this is great. No, go and find out all those new fruits and vegetables. If you've never had a leek before, go buy a leek. Later on you can find out how to cook it, okay? If you've never had a, what would you never have had? I don't know, like a lychee or a persimmon. I can't pronounce these things, okay? But anyway, if you've never had them, go get them. Step number 5 or 6. Protein, because you know this is always the big one. Everyone's always like, where do you get your protein? And I'm like, plants have protein, come on. Seriously, plants have protein. Like spinach can often have more protein than a lot of meats. So go get your plants, go get your greens, spinach for example. Secondly, go get some nuts unless you're allergic. In case, don't do that. Don't do a Mr. T and get those nuts full, because you'll die. But seeds as well, tofu if you want to go down that route. I also want to point out some really great, there's pretty much a vegan alternative for everything. So for milk, you can get yourself your almond milk. Guys, sweetened almond milk is the nicest thing. Or hazelnut milk. Can I get an A woman? Can I get an A woman? Or yeah, so just find alternatives. The only thing that I can't find an alternative to yet is cheese. Sorry guys. I mean, you can make your own cheese sauce, which is really great. That I once had with lasagna, I made it and it was the best thing ever. With, strangely enough, cashew nuts. This is point number 7. This takes us nicely on to point number 7, which is that recipes are a social construct, okay? Now, I think one thing that people are very against veganism, their main thing, not their main thing, but one of their main things are often, if you don't want to eat meat, why would you have a veggie burger? Just go eat your own stuff. Like, why are you creating burgers? Why are you creating soy milk instead of actual milk when you could have actual milk? And it's like, there is no such thing as actual, in a way, do you know what I mean? So for example, like if I make someone spaghetti meatballs, okay? But with spaghetti that doesn't have eggs, and I use, say, like some falafel balls or something like that instead of meatballs, people are going to be like, well, that's not actual meatballs. Why? Because you've just been taught, you have been taught the entire way growing up that spaghetti must be made this way and it must contain this particular ingredient in this particular order and this. No, have fun. Food can consist of whatever. And like, it's just really quite narrow-minded, because if you go abroad, you probably eat something you've never had before and be like, oh, you guys make things this way. Like, for example, I am very used to having tea without milk because, you know, when I go to people's places, they don't have a milk alternative. So I'm very used to just having tea bag and water, and I remove the tea bag. And like, people always see this and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's so weird. And it's like, no, it's just a different way of having it. You're just very socialized to having it in this particular order and your tea made in this particular way and blah, blah, blah. And it, like, I know we always joke about it, but it doesn't actually matter. And what was really funny is that my friend said to me, like, oh no, that's how they have it in Lebanon. Like, she worked in Lebanon for a while, and that's how they have their tea. And it's weird because if you go somewhere else, you just accept it. You just accept a different way of making things. But then when you're back home, you're like, no, it can't be made differently. It's wrong. And why would you be vegan if you're gonna do things differently to how I've always done things? It doesn't make sense. Oh yeah, one more thing actually. You might get tired because if you're very used to eating a diet that's very high milk, high cheese, high cream, high everything, you might get a bit tired, and I think just let go with that, because it might happen and it's just natural. Your body's just trying to process things. But I think you're probably actually doing your body a very big service. For example, if you look at the back of lots of foods, as I said before, the things in bold, apart from honey, watch out for that one. They never bold honey. I don't know if you're including honey or not, 'cause some vegans have honey, some vegans don't. I don't anymore, but I did. Watch out for honey, because they don't bother warning you about that one. So, yes, and vegetarians can have it as well. So you have to be careful and not just trust like the sign. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so for example, if you look at the things that they put in bold, there will often be things that vegans don't have. And it's like, why do you think that is? For example, like I know like people who are lactose intolerant, that's actually normal. The rest of us have just, you know, evolved to be able to have milk. Think about why the stuff that we don't eat, vegans don't eat, is stuff that the majority of people are allergic to. Like, maybe it's not that good for you. Maybe you're just gonna get more energy with your fruits and your veg and, you know, your rice and all that jazz. Do you know what I mean? So it's like, sometimes you just have to think about the stuff that we're actually meant to eat as a human species. And that stuff probably isn't things like milk and stuff. But that means that once you're used to it, you're probably going to feel a bit tired once you get off it. But just know that's normal and it'll go away eventually, and just like keep having your protein and your carbs and you'll be fine. This has been Tea Time Tuesday. So exciting. Be out. Bye. But I'm still here. I also forgot to add that I'm going to put links down below to good vegan recipes or just good vegan websites. And also, if you're into that kind of stuff, get on Instagram. Really great sources to be part of are like the hashtag vegansofIG, or hashtag vegans of Instagram, or hashtag whatveganseat, or just hashtag vegan. And you'll see like loads of people's recipes, and it's usually very motivating, and I think that's the reason people do it. It just motivates other people to eat clean and to eat healthy and to have fun, and not even necessarily eat clean. I mean, for example, Oreos are vegan. I had Oreos and chocolate ice cream the other day. So good. So yeah, get involved in the community. It's good fun, and ask me any questions or comment them down below if you have them. I'll try and answer them. I'm not a vegan soup extraordinaire. That's the word. I'm not a vegan extraordinaire, but you know, I know a thing or two. So yeah, see ya. Bye. Also, do you love my mug? It says, "Please do not annoy the writer. She may put you in a book and kill you." It's true.